Hello, folks. Took a bit of a break, came back to play some Heist, and then I saw the price of Rogue's Markers, and I realized I have to make a video on this because this is absolutely insane. Rogue's Markers right now are dirt cheap. This is the lowest I've ever seen the price of Rogue's Markers. And this is very unusual because typically, as the league goes on, they usually get a bit more expensive. And the reason for that is because you need a lot of Rogue's Markers to do blueprints, and typically there's like a lot less people running contracts than are running blueprints. And so you have a bit of a supply and demand crunch there, right? I don't know if it's like the market, like just the fact that we have a currency exchange now and that like more people are able to put their rogues markers on the market that like we're not able to before, and it's flooding the market, or if just like nobody's running Heist because it doesn't really drop gold and you can't do your King's March with it. Could be one of those things. Could also be the fact that a lot of people are like chaining tier 16s and maybe they're like opening up the smuggler's caches and then getting the rose markers and then like not running anything and just sticking them on the currency exchange. I don't know what it is, but the price has never been this cheap. So what does this mean? The first and most obvious thing is that blueprints are now cheaper to run than ever. So if you're ever considering doing heists and running blueprints, this is the best time to do it because I mean this is insane. Like you can get so many rogues markers for so cheap now. That's the first thing. Then the second thing is a little bit less obvious, and it has to do with contracts. And this is the main reason that I wanted to make this video, talking a little bit about the implications for contracts. Is it worth doing contracts? How should you do contracts? At the current prices right now, if you're in a trade league, there is an argument to be made that you shouldn't be doing any contracts outside of deception contracts to get your unveils for the blueprint wings, if you're doing them for profit. However, if you did want to do contracts for profit, there's also an argument to be made that you could do something that I like to call skimming, which is where you like enter into the contract, you take a look at like what boxes are there, and if there's a good box, you go get it, and then you leave without taking like the end piece. Because what happens is like if you walk into a contract, right, and you go and you take the end bit, you know, like for example, like living ice, it sets off the alarm, then you have to like backtrack through the whole thing, and you have to open all the doors, right? And actually, the time on the way back is typically longer than the time on the way there because you have to open up the doors. But with the rogues markers prices this cheap, I wonder if it would be profitable to buy a crap ton of rogues markers, do contracts with the intention of never going to the end, going in, checking to see if they have like, you know, a jewelry chest or like one of the high, the more valuable chests. If they don't exit, if they do run and get it and run out, and you just keep doing that, and you could do probably like twice as many contracts as you would otherwise, assuming that you're not going and getting the thing at the end. And the reason I think this is because, like, let's say for sake of argument, you did go to the end, right? You get your living ice or whatever it is. It's probably like 2,000 to 4,000 rogues markers in value, which again, under normal circumstances, would be somewhere from like 4 to 8C. But right now, with the price being 2,201, it's probably like 1 to 2C value. Is it worth backtracking to the entirety of the contract and opening up all the doors for 1 to 2C? Probably not, right? So that's just my thoughts on this so far. I'll probably do some testing on this, see how many contracts you can run without running to the end. You could probably like, I don't know, maybe double the total number of contracts that you can do for boxes if you decide not to go to the end and click the display case at the end. Anyway, let me know what you think, guys. I'm going to do some testing on this for sure. This is like some strange territory. I've never seen rogues markers this dirt cheap before, and I've never like really had the inclination to like pop in and not do the end because the end was always such consistent money. But like if the last item is only 1 to 2C, then possibly contracts could be runnable without doing that. Unless of course you're doing it for the sake of blueprint wing unveils, which you have to get the end anyway. But if you're just doing it solely for profit and you're not worrying about the blueprints, then maybe contract skimming could be a good idea. Anyway, let me know what you think. That's just my thoughts. Cheers. Talk to you later, guys.